We are live.
We are live.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, we're in sync. Welcome to Afternoons with the Muldoons, everybody. Great to have you here. I'm Brian Muldoon, Janice Muldoon, the lovely,
Hey, everybody.
talented Janice Muldoon. And great to be here today. How's everybody doing? Make sure that you comment live if you're here with us live today, or replay if you're watching this later. Let us know. Hope everybody's having a great week.
Absolutely. We have an awesome guest coming on today, but we'll just maybe have a little chit chat for a minute, just while we wait for a few more people to come on. So yeah, I mean, I'm having a fabulous week because we're on holidays for a few days after this. So
That's right. Yeah.
It's been a crazy week, but looking forward to a little road trip.
It's going to be nice going down to Galway in the south of Ireland, which is going to be fab. Going down to visit some friends there, chill out for a while. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So hope you're having a great week. We do have a great show here for you today. We've got a very special guest, Bernardo Moya. I'll tell you a little bit about him in just a second, but glad that you're here. Make sure that you tell your friends, get in there, comment, share, and let them know that we're live right now. So what did we want to tell you about? Okay, first of all, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and then we'll get to them. We'll answer those questions for you. So that's important. We did want to let you know quickly that we have a live event happening that Janice and I are going to be running here on September 24th. And this is really an important half-day intensive workshop. Now, this particular workshop is only available in the UK time zone. So if you're in North America, we're going to have another one coming out later on.
Or you could get up really early.
Yeah, or you could get up at I don't know, what's that going to be, 5 in the morning or something, maybe 6 in the morning, whatever. So anyway, this is an event that we put together just based on everything that's been happening on the other side of the pandemic, this endemic that we're in, right? Like a lot of people are, really in a place where, they're just not willing to settle anymore. It's almost like everyone's self-worth has kind of had a shift. And so this workshop is going to be really geared toward that. And basically, it's going to be an amazing event where you're going to get real clarity and put together a real plan that's going to give you the steps that you need to really get going in the direction that you want confidently, so that you're no longer in that place of uncertainty, like we're saying, and seeing so many people are in. And that was us for a while too, when we came out of this pandemic. It was really weird because one thing we knew is that people kind of didn't want to go back to the old normal, funny enough.
Yeah,
we're like, I wish we could just get back to the way it was. And now people are like, no, I don't know if I want to go back to that shitty job anymore.
That's right.
I don't know if I want this career anymore, this business, or this relationship or whatever it is. So if you're interested, just type FX in the chat and we'll get you all the details. We'll have those out later on. So on with the show.
On with the show. So let's introduce our very special guest. We're very excited to introduce a wonderful friend of ours, Bernardo Moya, who we met, I think it was 2017.
It was 2017.
2017 when we met. Although it seems like we've been friends for years now. We've got a real great bond and connection. And as you'll see, for any of you who are tuning in today who are not aware of him yet, very awesome guy who is doing fantastic things, including an event that is coming up this weekend, which you could still be a part of because it sounds like it's going to be absolutely incredible. So I think we should bring him on out and
let's have a chat.
Get going.
All right, everyone. Please welcome to the show our guest and friend, Bernardo Moya. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Excited to be here.
Oh, great to have you here. So there's so much that we want to cover today. And I think there's really sort of three things that we really want to cover today. And by the way, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. We'll get to them. I think the three things are, obviously you've got a new book coming out. This is not your first book, but it's an important book for you. I want to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, you are the Chief Inspirational Officer of the Best You Expo, which is going live again in Los Angeles next year. Super excited about that. And then, of course, you've got the Love event coming up here right away. We want to take a little bit of time and talk about that. But just before we do, for those of you who are meeting Bernardo for the first time, I mean, he has worked with and interviewed some of the most influential people in the world that all of us have met and come to know. It's just actually, it's actually staggering when you look at the catalog of all the people that you've worked with and interviewed over the years, and through the Best You Expo, and it's really amazing. And so here we are today talking with you, and I guess I wanted to start off with that. Like, what's that journey meant to you? Having worked with the likes of Maston Kipp and Dave Asprey and Michelle Moan, and it just goes on and on and on. What's that journey mean to you today in retrospect? Even though you're still heavily involved with the Best You and all that, just wanted to find out. You're someone who's had a rare opportunity to do that much.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. I don't know. Sometimes you know what it's like. Sometimes it's strange, when you look back, and I think we all do that to a degree. When we look back at a lot of the things that we've done over the years, sometimes, yeah, we probably take it for granted after a little while, and maybe we didn't spend enough time smelling the roses. But no, it's been an amazing journey, to be honest. It's been fascinating. Kind of a lot of the people that I used to read. A lot of the people that I followed, that I loved, admired, watched their videos, listened to their tapes, because yes, I'm that old, and kind of all of a sudden then I'm working with them, or I meet them, or they're mentoring me, or I'm promoting them. Kind of it's been phenomenal. I mean, the list has just been so many great people. Dave Asprey, Simon Sinek, I interviewed him as well. Kind of, yeah, Jim Quick. I don't know, Jack Canfield, Les Brown for me was an amazing turning point, to have him promoting, meeting him, and sharing the stage with him as well, which I did. And so, yeah, it's been fascinating. And, to sometimes, and for me, kind of, I've had my ups and downs personally in life. And also, I think, through this pandemic, the last expo I postponed was in March 2020. It's going to be 3 years next year. It's amazing, and it seems like it was yesterday, but it wasn't, because it's been a journey, hasn't it? It's been a bit of a desert at sometimes, and to be back and attempting to promote some big event, or a big event again, it's just a blessing. And yeah, it's been fascinating and very interesting. I'm at a different phase, but I'm very grateful for what I've managed to do so far. So it's been an interesting journey.
I was going to say, it's funny when you were talking about the expo, because it takes me back. Brian was talking to you about all the people that you have met and promoted and had come to the expo. I mean, the amount of connections you have is absolutely amazing. But I remember the first couple of years when we were getting to know you, you were very much being that person, bringing everyone together and creating this absolutely incredible event. I mean, the first time that we ever attended that event, I mean, that was a real catalyst for us building our business, connections we were able to make. But the big difference, I remember being in London with you in 2019, and that was when you released The Question. And
yes,
that was it was so amazing to see, because you had put so much work and energy into creating this amazing platform and promoting all these other people, that suddenly, whenever you were promoting that book and you were coming out as your own influencer that you are, it was incredible to see that, because people were just like loving it. And now, the next book, we'd love to talk about that now that you're launching at the event this week. And I've been reading it because you gave me a little sneak peek. Thank you very much. And it's incredible work. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Yeah, it's difficult, and you guys have become such close friends, and we've met, well, not that much recently, but we spend a lot of time together, and it's been beautiful to have you as friends. And I do dedicate a few words to you both, because you're friends, and you've kind of supported me in those moments when we kind of, I question my questions.
Thank you.
Which is a good thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah, well, yeah. So kind of, it's just having all those different hats, Janice. It's just like, okay, so I'm the promoter. I'm putting all this big events to provide everyone an opportunity to share their message. But I found myself in that position. I didn't really I never, I knew I wanted to be an author the moment I learned NLP, but I was really focusing on that's what I'm going to do. But then I became a promoter, promoting Richard Bandler and Paul McKenna for 11 years, 12 years. So, you know, my journey or my own personal story got backtracked and I wasn't able to share my story. And it was only, I think, on that expo, which was expo number 4, which it was my biggest and best expo. You know, we had 14,000 people. Well, you remember, it was just heaving with people.
Yeah.
There was at least 2,000 people at the door trying to get in on the day we were opening.
Yeah.
And there I am. I'm trying to share my own story, you know, because yes, I've hit rock bottom a few times. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a promoter. But I wanted to share my own story. So kind of that happened with a question, and it was great. And it was so nice, you know, kind of, it was every single expo I said, I'm never, ever doing this ever again, you know, because it was just too much stress, too much work. And here I am doing it again. So with this upcoming event, the Love Event, the Love Event really came to me probably nearly a year ago now, with this downtime of not being able to do events and thinking, well, if I'm going to do another event, I'd love to do something that's more aligned with where I am personally in my own journey and in trying to help people to really find ways to elevate their consciousness, you know, to become kinder, to care more, but most importantly, to talk more about love, because having promoted more than 1,000 speakers over the years, I kept missing, apart from obviously, you know, our common friend like Sarah Davison, who talks about love because she's a divorce coach, and a lot of others who do help couples and relationships. It's kind of a private conversation, you know, kind of how do we make money? How do I make money on social media? How can you become a best-selling author? It's all these things, you know, but love wasn't really at the forefront of many of those conversations. So I came up with the idea of the Love Event at the same time as I was writing book around the thoughts around love. And it was through my own personal relationships, breaking up with my wife, who I was married for 32 years, you know, falling in love, falling out of love, the loss of my mum. So kind of I went through a bit of a deep, dark moment, you know, where I started to tap into my vulnerability, and it, because it helped me to kind of heal, you know, my process of reinventing myself again. And that's why these two books have come together. So it's been a lot of work, as always. This work in particular was heavy on the soul, heavy in the heart. And also kind of, you know, with all the work I put in with the illustrations and stuff like that, and making it to come out at the same time as a Love Event, obviously, because I can't make my life simple. I need to complicate my life. And then at the same time, I'm translating the Spanish version, you know, So it's just something that I felt was part of my process of who I am now. So it's a very open book. I think I say in the first chapters, you know, kind of, are you judging me already? Because of a few of the disclaimers that I put out there. But I just think that I think we need to talk more about love. And that's what I hope. That's what I hope, you know, that's what I hope comes from that book. And maybe it's thought provoking as well, because obviously there's questions in there, like I always do.
Well, you know, sorry, I just wanted to say quickly, because Brian hasn't had a chance, because I was hogging it to myself. He hasn't had a chance to read it yet, but
that'll be duly noted.
Yeah. But the one thing that I wanted to say, you know, I appreciate so much your honesty, because we've had conversations before about the personal development industry. And I remember you saying years ago, some of these people need to read their own books, right? Because they're preaching all of this stuff. And then you're like, what? Are you sure? So that's what I absolutely love, is that you're just like, look, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the truth. I'm just bearing it all. And I think it's a really amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
Thank you. And as far as reading the book, let me just add, there's a pecking order, Janice, always. So obviously you should do it first, and then Brian.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, on that note, you know, on the book, I mean, you know, this is really such, it's just, how would you say, it's just really the rawest version, and, you know, your own interpretation from your own life experiences about what love can be, what love has been, what love looks like, you know, today. And I think there's, I don't think there's ever a more important time to talk about love than any time, because, you know, I think John Lennon summed it up, right? All you need is love. And, you know, I just used to think like that was just a song, that a catchy thing, you know, but there's so much truth in that, isn't there? Like, you know, when you think about most people, I mean, what they really want is that connection. They want that bond. They want that relationship with someone that they can share with, because I think our human nature is to love and is to give and nurture and take care of one another. But it's interesting, because I wanted to ask this question, in the book, you really are bearing all, and it really sort of peels back the layers, I think, of what's probably true of a lot of us in our journey in life, from love and relationships and the meaning of it and that sort of thing. And so, um, like, what was it about it for you that was so important, that, like, obviously it was important for you to share the story and get the story out, and that's been living in you. But what do you want the reader to come away with from that, if anything?
Well, hopefully they come out with something, even if they judge me. Look, I just think that, as I said, love is too much of a private conversation. I'm obviously prepping for the love event this weekend, and I'm making my notes, because obviously I'm hosting it throughout the 2-3 days. I've got so many panels, so many conversations going on, and there's a lot to talk about. And obviously I have to come up with some thoughts of my own. But I think to a degree it's expressed in the book. The love event in particular isn't only about love. I mentioned it is about how can we elevate consciousness. Love and consciousness are the two main subjects of the event. And love is not only, as far as love in relationships, is about expressing love, sharing love, being kind, caring. So the thing is that, I've obviously gone through a bit of a journey where I'm exploring with some psychedelics, and I've been kind of microdosing and really truly trying to find ways of how I can elevate my consciousness, because I've read a lot about it. And I was curious to see kind of what that would bring. And it's brought me so much enlightenment. I feel, to a degree, I never understood what spiritual awakening meant, but I do now, and I have for a few years now. Look, many couples and relationships are living a lie, and it's a fact, because they're unhappy, they're cheating, they're not expressing their love, they're not talking about love. It's kind of, let's put it on the back burner and let's just not talk about how uncomfortable we feel with each other, just because we need to be with each other forever. I mean, there's a great book that I quote, which is Sex at Dawn, and it talks about the story of monogamy and kind of how it's brought up into kind of into our age, and it explores about something. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. The bottom line is that I think we need to be able to express how we feel, and we should express how we feel. And so that might come to you in words, because you're someone that expresses those words, clearly and easily, and you can express them, and you can go through a conversation as an adult. Maybe not. Maybe you need to express them in writing. Maybe you need to say how special she is or how special he is, and you need to write those thoughts down and share them. But love, we need to talk about love, and we need to talk about love more. Because if I have learned anything from what I've on my journey recently, has been about kind of love is the only thing. It is the ultimate thing. It is. You were saying about John Lennon. Well, the gurus have been right for so many years. It's all about love, and love is it. And it's a fact. It's the truth, because at the end of the day, Brian, and Janice, what will happen is that at the end of our lives, everything that we've accumulated materialistically will mean nothing. We're not going to be thinking about that. We're going to be thinking about the beautiful moments that we had with the loved ones, and the places that we've seen, and the people that we've, connected with, and who hopefully is standing next to our bed, and who is there with you. The rest is completely immaterial, it's not worth anything. So we spend our lives on this journey of accumulating things, because we've been sold by, advertising agencies, and by, this mindset we have that more it brings us happiness than it doesn't. I've learned, if anything, in the contrary. I've had many things, and the less I have, the happier I am. So, I don't need things anymore, and I've had those things. I want to live, and I want to be able to live emotionally, express myself freely. So I think, why wait for you to find out that you've got 6 months to live, or why wait, till you're 82 and you're about to drop dead, and then start talking about love and tell the people that you never told, So That's what I hope the book does. And obviously there is a bit of romance within the book, because I talk about falling in love, falling out of love, passion. I talk about, moving on and broken heart. So, it does cover a little bit more of the love aspect, but I do have a little section at the back, which I call Thoughts on My Mind, where I freestyle and kind of a lot of thoughts that are in there. But hopefully it's a step in the direction that I want to continue being as an author and as a thinker. So it's been a pregnancy. I've never been pregnant, but it's been a challenge to get it out, and I'm happy it's out now.
That's
great.
amazing.
I just want to say quickly, the link is there. Anyone who wants to grab a ticket, attend this event.
It's a virtual event, and it's starting what? Sorry, Bernardo, because we're talking about it, but we haven't dialed.
Yeah, the 9th. It's the 9th to the 11th of September, 10 a.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. And check the webpage, theloveevent.com. There's just phenomenal speakers, panelists, all sorts of subjects. It's going to be really, really exciting. It's obviously live. It's streamed online on the Best You TV. And I'm very honored to have so many great international, global speakers, TV producers, phenomenal people in joining me that weekend.
It's going to be a great event. And like you said, there's going to be a ton of amazing speakers on there. So it's going to be time well spent. It's going to be streaming on the Best You TV. So speaking of the Best You, some really exciting news that you shared with me just the other day, that the Best You is going to be live again for people to attend in LA. And I'm really excited about that. And so, if you're interested in speaking live in LA next year, March 3rd and 4th and 5th, you can go to thebestviewexpo.com and you can get all the information and book a call to speak with someone about getting a slot. The reason I'm saying this is there are so many people out there right now who have a real area of expertise that can really be out there making a difference, that want to. One of the best things that you can do, and as Janice alluded to at the top of the program today, it's being at the Best You Expo was something that really took our business to places we never thought possible. And to this day, from 2017, we're still experiencing the trickle effect of having booked a stand there and got on stage and spoke to an engaged audience. And I'm so excited about this event in LA. And just for anyone, for example, here in the UK, who's thinking, yeah, but flight's over and stuff. Well, I recently found out that, you get flights for like £500 return, to LA. So it is affordable. You can get there as long as you book early enough, but do inquire, go to the bestviewexpo.com and you can book your ticket there if you want to just attend the event, or if you want to inquire about being a speaker. This is the event that you want to be at. Absolutely, hands down, 100%. It's been transformational for our business. We really appreciate that opportunity, Bernardo.
Thank you. Yes, and I'm excited to come back. The Best You Expo, as I said, the last time we had it scheduled was in LA, and it was in 2020, March. We had 12,000 people pre-registered. We have around 160, 180 speakers confirmed. So yeah, we're back. We're back, and this time the space is even bigger, because I had 60,000 square feet. We've got 90,000 square feet, 10 stages, all different sizes. Obviously, the main stage: masters, mentors, and influencers, empowering women, passion to profit, best for business. There's just there's an inspiration zone, yoga, meditation. There's a love and consciousness room. There's rooms for everyone to be able to speak, or everyone to be able to engage and attend and meet speakers there. And we've got a couple of hundred booths. So we're gonna, we're gonna do whatever we can to have as many people as possible. We've got some great partners that we're talking to, big media companies to get involved, some big neuroscience companies that are looking at getting involved. So things are going to evolve and change very quickly. And it's exciting to be back, and I can't wait. I can't wait to be surrounded by tens of thousands of people.
I know. That's what I was going to say. It's like, I think everybody is just so ready for that. I know that I am. It's like, oh my goodness, we just spoke at a small event, like 100 people or something last week we attended, and I just did a little short talk, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I'm not behind a screen. This is fantastic. So yeah, it's I think you're going to have a huge turnout for that event.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
We're going to be there
100%.
Really exciting. And if you've never been to the Best You, in terms of personal development event, from business to relationships to, you know, selling consulting and coaching services, health and beauty, and, you know, mind and body, it like really just,
it encompasses everything.
Yeah, it's like just, I would say truly holistic. And it's such a fun event, and you see people walking around with just bags of all this stuff that they've got, this great information and things to take away,
and big smiles on their faces.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So can't wait for that.
Yes.
All right,
absolutely.
so guys, we're gonna put the links in the comments to everything. You know, Bernardo's book, which is gonna pre-launch here, so you can pre-order it. Rather, it's gonna be launching, I think, is it on the 9th? Is that?
Yes. Well, people can pre-order the book now, but it's available on Friday. It'll be available on Friday. We're launching it then, and it's been exciting. I got my tribe really involved in the colors, the book title, and everything else. So I was very blessed and honored to get so much feedback. And yeah, it's available on the 9th. A Man Evolving.
Man Evolving.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that finished up soon, because it is. I'm really, honestly, really enjoying it. It's a brilliant, brilliant book. I just wanted to say, sorry, just touching on the book, one kind of circling back to that. I really appreciated what you said when you were talking about, you know, not just the relationship, the love relationship, but all your relationships. And I really, one thing that really resonated with me, and I know it was obviously a very horrible time, but I think a very pivotal time, you losing your mom. And that the same happened for me in my life. That was a real sort of, you know, that turning point. And it's absolutely right. That's when you have, I believe, when you have that real, that moment of clarity in your life, that all of the stuff doesn't matter. All of the striving for the bigger this and the best of that and all of that stuff, what it really comes down to is the relationships that you have with yourself and with the people that you love and the people around you. And that really, really just comes clear in the book. So anybody that's interested, definitely get in there and pre-order it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that there's another really important thing, from the book that really rang through for me, which is something that's so important that, you know, I really press upon as a coach. And it's really surrendering to your truth, you know, because when we can really own up and instead of trying to avoid the past and not want to look at it, and it doesn't mean we have to live there, but by acknowledging it, you know, we have to have enough courage and, you know, to really go back and look at those things, to see them for what they are, and to ultimately move on from them, take the lessons from them, but leave the regret and the grief and all of that in the past. And would you say that in writing this book, like, some of those things have happened for you in that process, where you know, going back and maybe recounting and maybe in some ways reliving has allowed you to have some closure with maybe things that we all look back and regret in relationships, whether it be intimate or just with people around us, that friends, whatever?
Yeah, obviously, there's been a lot, you know, a lot has happened, and yes, kind of with my mom, it was more about having that moment when I'm standing there, you know, once she passed away, and looking at all her belongings. And my mom was a collector, like many kind of older people. Used to have so many little, you know, little ceramics, and she used to have so many different types of shoes and so many, and you know, kind of what could we do with all that? You know, it was my daughter and my niece took some things, but you know, at the end of the day, they're all personal belongings that meant something to her. And I remember thinking, I don't want my kids to go through this, you know, I don't want my kids to have to go through all my shit, you know, and have to decide what are they going to do with it, put them in that uncomfortable situation. So again, it was accumulating those things instead of those moments. And my mum had many beautiful moments. I had the regrets like we all do, and I think that's what happens kind of with your parents. Could I have done more? Should I have spent more time with her? Should I have told her more how often I loved her? Could I have showed that? And yes, 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 yes is the answer, because we all go through that. And looking back at my life now, I definitely could have worked a lot less, and I should have spent more time with my kids. I was doing what I thought was right, which was, trying to build an empire in order that I could leave them something behind. So I think if anything, it enabled me or allowed me to understand, how I can become a better human, and how I can focus on making sure that, to whatever degree I can, to share love more now, and to talk about love, and to express how I feel, because it's just a very simple thing. We all have friends, and we all have loved ones, and we all, and or even people that you meet on the street, in the road, and you could just say to them, wow, you look amazing, you look beautiful, you look lovely. That's just so simple. And all of a sudden you've changed their day, and that might be something that they keep in their mind forever. You just never know. So yeah, for me, it's just more about being focused, being present in the now, being aware of what's important. And I'm very happy and very excited to carry on in sharing and exploring this love, and being vulnerable. We were talking about vulnerability, and I think one of the quotes I use in the book is that vulnerability is like an onion. The more layers you take off, the sweeter it becomes. And the more vulnerable I became, the better person I became. Because I was digging deep into who I am. So yeah, it really is about stopping, pausing, breathing, thinking, and loving. Kind of, because there's just too much noise going on, and it's only when we stop, meditate, and calm down. But kind of, we all deserve 10-15 minutes to slow down, stop, think. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm happy, as I think I'm a better person, definitely am. But yeah, I've got flaws and mistakes like we all have, but I still got time to do something about it.
I think that's so important, what you just said there. You still have time to do something about it. And I think that, like I said, from reading the book, and
me reading it to you,
Jenny reading it to me because she got it first. But actually, truth be known, I got the book before anyone else did. Yeah, I mean, it's when you talk about peeling back the layers, I think that you said something really important earlier. You said, like, I did what I thought I needed to do. I was doing the I wanted to try and do the right thing, and I was doing what I wanted to, or what I thought I needed to do to take care of my family. And for anyone who is maybe in a place where you are reflecting, and you're thinking, did I do the right thing? No, I don't think I did. Or maybe I could have done this differently, or I should have done that differently. Look, everyone has regrets. The most important thing that I got from what you're saying is that you have to appreciate that whatever it is that you've did, or done rather, your shortcomings, the things you didn't get right, it's important that you understand that they came from a place of good intention. No matter what the outcome, as you said, I was doing what I thought was the right thing to do. I was doing what thought I was supposed to do. And I think that's true of so many people, and I think that the important thing there is to understand that, whatever we do, we usually are coming from the best of intentions, aren't we?
Yeah, we all are. And I think if anything, we have to be prepared that, at the end of the day, that's it. We're all humans. And I think also, people in general, I found this a lot of the times, and I've been aware of it for quite some time, is not to be judgmental. It's very easy for someone else to judge you because of what you did. It's very easy and I've experienced this with friends. I've experienced this with family, and I've experienced this with people that don't even know me, who judge me, and they've never worn my shoes. They've never been through my ups and downs. They've never seen me kind of in my dark moments. So, and don't know what scars we all have, and everyone has scars. So kind of, I think kind of one of the main things is to not judge anyone, you know, and just simply be humble, and understand that at the end of the day, again, you know, looking at love and exploring what consciousness is that we're all human, and we will all go down to the same place, which is the soil, you know, and then, hey, hopefully, if you believe in reincarnation, you'll come back as something else. But I think we have to do whatever we can in order to live and be the best version of who we can be. But becoming that best version comes through those experiences, those challenges, those dark moments. But it's about putting your hands up and being able to be free to express your thoughts, and especially if they are deep and dark and loving, and not call you a pufta. You know, kind of, I'm just using a name there because, you know, kind of like, you have to be macho. Well, listen, excuse me, I'm Spanish, I'm macho, all right? But I can also be soft and tender, and I can be a pain in the ass as well. So, you know, I can be all sorts of things. But let's not fear expressing how we feel, and let's not fear talking about love, especially with your partner, with your loved ones, with your family. I mean, if you can't express that with them, then again, that's where I talk about in the book. I think so many people are living a lie, and I do question to a degree monogamy. So, you know, I think if anything, we need to stay focused, and we need to stay really tapped into the potential opportunities that this life gives us, which are many great things. So I'm just simply excited in bringing this at the forefront, and then let everyone else run with it, and take it as you will. But and with love, I'll take any feedback on, good and bad. But you know, I've got tough skin, and you know, if someone comes from a place of love, I'll take it. If someone comes from a place of hatred, it just simply skid off my skin, because I've got enough scars in my life. I've been in many tough situations to let anyone kind of affect me and tell me that I'm on the wrong path. I'm on my path, and love it or leave it.
Yeah, you know, I think something that's really important, and it's funny because we were having this conversation just earlier this week. You know, you get to a certain age, I think, and like for me, I don't know what's been happening lately, but the last few years I've been really having these sort of, I don't know, moments of clarity where I'm just like, yeah, I mean, you're on this journey, and we're all just really trying to figure it out and trying to do our best. You know, like I sort of felt like when I was younger, you know, you get to a point where you think, oh, you've got your business and you've got this and stuff. Oh, I'm on this trajectory and I've got it all figured out. And then life changes, whether it be going in and out of relationships, losing people that you love, and all those kind of things. And it's just, you know, each year that goes by, it just becomes more and more clear. I'm completely agreeing with everything that you're saying. Is really, that is what matters. All the other crap doesn't matter, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. You think you got your life all mapped out and it's going over here, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. So just love the people around you, enjoy every day. Don't, you know, get focused on the material things, I think is a big one, and striving for the I'll be happy when life, you know. So I think it's a really important message that you're sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Janice.
That's fantastic. Well, mate, it's been great having you here. Just want to let everyone know that we're going to post the links to the Love event, which is happening here this weekend, correct?
Yep.
And also, if you're interested in speaking at the Best You Expo in LA next year, give that some serious consideration. Like I said, it's been amazing for us what it's done. And you know, also Bernardo's book, you can pre-order it. It's coming out on the 9th of this month, so a couple of days away here. If you've been listening to this, then it's definitely worth a read. Certainly brings perspective, that's for sure. And it is sort of the unapologetic version of your experience with love and your relationships and all that, which I think just takes, if I can be so candid, it just takes a lot of balls to do that. And I really tip my hat off to you for doing that, because, you know, as you said, you know, you can be like, you know, a bull with your head down, but then also you're comfortable with being vulnerable and saying, hey, this is who I am, like it or not. This is my story in this particular area, and this is what it meant to me. And, you know, hopefully you can take something from that, you know, and I think that that's really important. And so thank you so much for being here and sharing everything with us today.
Well, no, thank you guys, and thank you so much for your help and support. You know, as friends, and well, you've helped me as well tremendously professionally with a lot of the stuff that we worked together. And yeah, listen, I'm just very excited and honored to have you guys. Congratulations! I think you two together are you know, are amazing. I love the Muldoons, and congratulations. And yeah,
We
no,
like
listen.
them most of the time too.
Sorry, was that?
So we like them most of the time too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was speaking. Yeah, some days not so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good balance. No, but honestly, yeah, we love having you here. I can't wait to see you again in person. But listen, have the very best time at the event. I'm sure it's going to be a huge hit this weekend, and we'll be sure to tune in and catch some of the speakers that you have, and yeah, hopefully some of the people tuning in here will check it out because it's going to be an amazing event.
Yeah, come and join us. It's pretty amazing. We've got some fantastic speakers. Yeah, we've got over 3,000 people pre-registered.
Wow.
And it keeps growing. So it's
amazing.
Yeah, looking
Brilliant.
forward to it.
That's brilliant.
Very excited.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
everyone.
soon.
Thanks
Bye.
for being here.
That's
Tell your
right.
friends about Afternoons with Muldoons, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Take care.